What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to GmiasWorld Podcast. Today we're going to be talking Super Bowl 55. We're going to be going ahead and talking about the GOAT, Tom Brady. Yes, I'm talking about the GOAT that I doubted 3 different times. Was it 3? I might have doubted him more because he had the wild card Washington. He had, so it was 4 times. He had Washington, then he had the Saints, then he had the Packers, and then he finally had the Chiefs that he dominated and took, pretty much Patrick Mahomes on his lap and blasted him like he did something really, really bad in school. But I'm going to tell you this right now. Ultimately, I just want to apologize to Tom Brady and everybody that is surrounding TB12. The dude literally took his talents there and just did whatever he wanted in the first ever home Super Bowl. Like, it was really ridiculous. The Chiefs, however, they didn't look good from the start, to be honest. They had that one big defensive stop. And other than that, it wasn't anything that we could write home about. It was pretty much a time where it was just like, what are they doing right there? Like, Tyreek Hill, he's supposed to be a major part of what's going on. The dude had 7 receptions on 73 yards and 10 targets. Travis Kelce, right? Dude dropped key passes. That dude right there, I don't know if he was scared or what was going on, but there was a lot of things early that he could have done to help Patrick Mahomes. Obviously, they're playing without, linemen. So we kind of don't really give the linemen a lot of credit. It's always like the quarterback and, the running back. The linemen are really, really important, which is why, many of us think the Dallas Cowboys O-line is the greatest ever. When they won those 3 rings back in the 90s, we all think that they were the greatest O-line ever assembled. I don't know. Let me know if I'm wrong. But those guys were like brawlers, dude. They were ready to go. And, Mahomes missing these guys, he was running for his life every time he snapped the ball. So there's a lot of things that happen within it. I think it pretty much shows that you need certain things to work out for you in order to make the dream come true. Because with the way that, if his old linemen are not injured or not available and they play, it's probably a different game because he has a little bit more time to do stuff. Because obviously, without a decent O-line, bro, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he came out in the second half trying to do stuff, but he ended up with 64 yards. Patrick Mahomes, 33. Tyreek Hill, 5. Darrell Williams, 5. Like, Kelce with that 133 yards, he got a lot of that in garbage time. Like, he wasn't doing anything when it was clutch time. Sammy Watkins only had 13 yards. Like, I don't know exactly what the point of all of this offensive genius with Andy Reid was, but they really, really looked bad overall. And I think a lot of it offensively comes from the fact that Patrick Mahomes would snap the ball and start running for his life. Keep in mind also, he threw the ball 49 times, had 26 completions, he had two interceptions. This is unheard of. This is really unheard of. And I think pretty much like I said, regardless, nobody's going to look back at the fact that, his O-line was out or whatever. They're just going to look at the fact that there's a lot of hype building around him and that he went up against the GOAT and he choked. Like, that's pretty much what it is. Like, I understand your O-line sucks, but people are not going to be fair with the assessment because Tom Brady actually went to a really good situation with the receiving core. He was able to bring in Antonio Brown. He knew what he was doing. He knew what was needed because he played so many years in New England and he developed a way for winning for Bill Belichick, as we see right now. It was him. Like, the Patriot way is Tom Brady's way. Like, that's what it was, and we're seeing that now. But at the time, Bill Belichick got a lot of the credit, obviously, because the way the dynasty started, beating the Rams, greatest show on turf, you're going to give that guy credit because nobody thought they could stop them defensively. Now, also, it's not all on Patrick. Defensively, they sucked. Holding calls here, like, everybody was holding. It was really ridiculous. And I saw a lot of people saying, I thought that, we're going to let them play or whatever like that. But you got to understand, these holes were so, vicious. Dudes was grabbing on them completely and not letting go. You cannot do that. That doesn't make much sense. So I understand the calls. Some of them were uncatchable, so it shouldn't have been PI. But at the end of the day, when you're just blatantly grabbing somebody and throwing them down to the ground, the refs are going to call it, especially because you played against Tom Brady. Now we jump over to, what really happened with the Buccaneers. I want to point out something, right? Rob Gronkowski, early in the playoffs, he was getting credit for being a selfless, just great blocker, right? Wasn't even getting targets, wasn't doing anything. He comes out and explodes for 2 touchdowns, 67 yards, 6 receptions on 7 targets, all right? Leonard Fournette, who's not really known for getting the ball out the backfield with passes, 4 receptions, 46 yards, 4 targets. So that's his James White. Mike Evans, he could have had a lot more yards. He got the one reception, pretty much the 31 yards, but he got key pass interference calls where people are going to have to respect his deep threat capability. He was running by corners. Antonio Brown ended off with 1 touchdown. This guy right here is, like I said, I really don't care for him. I have to see a lot more of him being a good person outside of football, because the dude went crazy and he was jeopardizing a lot of people outside of what he should have been doing. So I don't really care about him as much, but Tom Brady made the right decision in bringing him in, because he's just another guy you have to defend and that you have to respect. And he goes ahead and scores a touchdown. He had 6 targets in the Super Bowl, 5 receptions, and he had the 22 yards and the 1 touchdown. So that's pretty good stuff. Chris Godwin, very, very selfless. Okay. He had a play that he almost caught that was out of bounds as well. One of the biggest things about the game, though, was the streaker. I got to be honest with you, bro. I was done with the game before that 5-minute mark where the guy's trying to streak. Like, it was just a wild situation. You know what I'm saying? This whole Super Bowl situation, I was not expecting it to play out like that. Tom Brady, 21 of 29, 209 yards, 3 touchdowns. He just came out. He knows what to do. When you play 19 years and you just don't care about anything and you're 43 and you're like, look, I'm not going home. Dude, look, you got to be weird. This guy is a savage. Right now, I don't think that there's any doubt with the 7 rings that you have to just, I know he doesn't look the part. He's not flashy. He doesn't do anything out of the ordinary, whatever. But the dude just wins. In the words of Al Davis, just win, baby. That's what he does. So I don't know if he's going to do like a Michael Strahan, walk up into the sunset. Whoever else did that, got a Super Bowl and said, look, I'm out. But that would probably be the better case, but I don't think he's going to do that based on what he's been saying. Maybe he'll decide later to do it. But, if he can manage a football team at the highest level like this and go for number 8 and just make sure that his legacy will never be touched, even though right now I don't think that anybody in our lifetime will get 7 rings. It's way too hard to get back to the game, and he's had so many opportunities to be there. It's unbelievable. This is really, like, we're witnessing history, and I know a lot of you guys don't appreciate it, but yeah, this is unbelievable what's being done right now. And again, I bet against them just for the mere fact that I'm a complete idiot, and I thought that, the Chiefs would be able to handle business. I was absolutely 100% wrong. 100% wrong. I have no idea what I was doing. I should have thought about the fact that this guy has no O-lineman and the pass rush is so vicious. Like, dude, you hike the ball and it's like, Patrick Mahomes had a pork chop on his butt cheeks and these guys were hyenas. It was immediate pressure. And I should have figured that out. O-linemen are so important, especially in a game like this where you're going up against a dominant pass rush. But I just went ahead with the Tyreek Hill when they first played, 200 and something yards and all that stuff in the first quarter. Wasn't really thinking properly. Apologies to the GOAT. I don't even want to hear any more debates about it. Like, the guy has 7 rings. Look, we thought it was Bill Belichick. He goes someplace else, does it at the same time. This is the worst thing, to see your ex actually succeed. Bill Belichick is probably sick, but it is what it is. Congratulations to the Bucs. Congratulations to Tom Brady and all those Buccaneers that now have Super Bowl rings for being selfless and listening to what he had to say when he went over there. I want to thank you guys and girls for watching. Have an unbelievable day. One love, y'all.